door to close if it's open?
Closed.
Closed. Rolling here. All right. You want to stream Instagram on this one or no?
We just did like 20 minutes of
All right,
it, so.
fine. Here we go. Here we go. Go ahead, roll. All right, Shereen, go ahead.
Today on Moms Matter, we're going to talk about money, 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 something that we all struggle with and we need help with, and that's why we have the fabulous Winnie Sun, who's here with us today.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you so much. I know you've been on MSNBC and Forbes, and you are the money expert.
I try to be.
You are. You wrote an incredible article for LA Mom Magazine where you kind of outline how to get kids familiar with money, how to spend money, and how to really know how to deal with money. It's a big issue.
It is. It's a big issue. I mean, it's what we use for currency.
So how do we do it at a young age? Like, what is your advice to me? I have 4 kids. They're all over the spectrum on age. How do we do it? I mean,
I get it. I mean, I have 3 little ones too. And the good news is starting young is a lot easier than when they get older, right? At this age, like my oldest is 8, my youngest is 4. I've got a 6-year-old, and really right now talking about money is no different than talking about Legos. So the sooner you can get comfortable having those conversations at an early age, the easier it is as they get older. Okay. So we talk about money pretty much. It's funny because my 8-year-old just started his 3rd grade checking account. And he said, Mommy, I'm so proud. I have more money than anybody in 3rd grade. I'm like, as you should be. Do they know your mommy's a financial advisor? And he's like, no. But truly, I think if we talk about it in that way as a positive thing, as no different than talking about what you're going to wear for the day, talking about openly about money to even strangers if they need to, then it becomes a very healthy relationship with what they need to do. Okay. But they also understand and respect it enough to know when to spend and when not to spend.
and how does an 8-year-old know when to spend and when not to spend?
Well, you'd be surprised how much they know. But at 8 years old, I feel like between 7 and 8 is kind of the magic moment where they really start to understand what costs what, right? So we'll go shopping together. We'll go to Target, and then, you know, a lot of times parents will have, I'll see them during the aisles and the kids will be like, Mommy, I have to have this, I have to have this. So at a very young age, I think even with my 3-year-old, 4-year-old, I said, you know, Target's like the museum, right? We look, we play, we don't take home. And if you build that foundation early on, they don't have that relationship where if I don't have, I'm sad. Right. You don't want them to have that feeling. Right. Instead, we translate it to having money means that we can spend more time together as a family, right? Maybe going on a family vacation, maybe do an art project together, maybe donate something to charity together. Right. But understand what everything costs. And once you have those open discussions, like, for example, I'll ask my son, I said, well, honey, we can either go out to dinner tonight, which will probably, with the whole family, will probably cost about $100 because a whole bunch of us. Right. Or we could take that same money and we could, I don't know, we could go in the snow and play in the snow for the day and get lift tickets. Which one makes sense to you? Nice. And he'll evaluate it and he'll say, you know, actually, we don't need to do either. We can actually go to the snow and just play, and it'll cost us nothing, right? So you have these discussions, and then so they are able to make these decisions without us. Because the thing about it, I think a lot of times with parents, we feel like we need to shield our children from making wrong decisions. But what we want to do is, while they're in our houses, make bad decisions.
Oh, absolutely. And for a kid at 8 to understand what they can do with $100 is very important.
And
I think it's great. What you just mentioned, the point of comparison, that's huge.
It's great because like this actually just happened last week. We were into one of those, like, you know, those rotation sushi places, right? And the bill was like $100. I'm like, wow. And then I'm like, did you enjoy dinner? He's like, I did. I said, great. Here you go, honey. Today's on you. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, well, you have money in your bank account, right? Today's on you because it's nice when you have money to be able to treat your family. And you know, Mommy and Daddy always treat. So today's going to be on you. I mean, his whole face just went red.
I'm sure it did.
And he started tearing up. I'm like, why are you so sad? He's like, it took me so long to make that money. I'm like, exactly. So we got to make these decisions. So it was great. You know,
I love that. I love that. So I think if I got what you said, and I'm happy our moms are tuned in, is don't be afraid, because we are afraid to talk about money with our kids. Don't be afraid, and make the comparisons, and hand them the check every now and then, and make them feel empowered that, hey, maybe I should think twice before I order that sushi roll, you know?
That's right.
I love that, Winnie. That's amazing. Well, I'm calling you back right away because we need to talk about teens.
Yes.
So thank you for today. That was very helpful.
Anytime.
Awesome. And that was Winnie Sun today. who was talking to us about money with our kids. And next time we're going to talk about teens, financing, and much, much more. All here on Focus TV Network with Moms Matter. A 13-year-old and a 14-year-old, and I'm always just giving them cash when they go out, and it's not working. Just not working.
Well, you're a nice mommy. You want to take care of them, right?
Yes.
Now, this is a great chance for you to take this opportunity to teach them something while you're giving them money.
Okay.
So, so I love that you're trying to help them, which is great. What we want to do is use this opportunity to show them different tools. Like, for example, if you were to go to the mall and you were to buy something right now, how would you pay?
With a credit card.
Good. You wouldn't be using cash, right?
No.
Exactly. Because the cash is kind of a dinosaur, right?
Yes.
And not only that, the reason why I love using a credit card, and I'm sure you use a credit card for this reason, is you can keep an idea of what you're spending on, right?
Sure.
You can get an idea at the end of the year what I spend in groceries and clothing, all these expenses for your business. So same thing with our kids. Arm them with things that you currently use. So if you use credit cards, you should actually give your teens a credit card.
I'm afraid to give my teen a credit card.
I know, we all are, but what you do is you create, you have to have them make mistakes under your watch, because what's going to happen is if you wait until they go to college or older and you're not going to be around, you're not going to be the voice in their ear anymore, you're going to make mistakes and it's going to be more costly. But right now, the nice thing is you can set up a credit card, a joint credit card with your child, or just have them have an extra card on your account, and you can set up alerts, right? Most credit card companies let you set up alerts for any charge. Like, for example, I could set up a charge, alert for anything over $20.
Sure.
I'll get a text, right? So you do that same thing and you teach them this is what a credit card's for, this is how much you're allowed to spend. If you spend more than this, you should be calling me first. And so they kind of get that feeling. The other thing is if they buy something home that you don't approve of, which often happens with teens,
Right.
what you do is you don't say like, I think you should go and take that back because that was a waste of money. Instead, you say, well, honey, I don't know, do you feel like that was the best choice of your money? Or in this case, your money, but it should be their money in some ways. Do you think this was a good use of your money? And they might say, yeah, I think it's great. Well, why don't we do this challenge? Why don't you stick it in the corner of your room for just 2 weeks? And let's see if you can live without it. And if you can live without it, then we should probably talk about returning it. And then they might say, well, Mom, why should I return it? And I say, just try for 2 weeks if you could. And more than not, 90% of the time, they'll be able to live without that item. And they'll say, great. Now, if you return the item and you put that money in your whatever account, checking account, savings account, maybe college savings account, then I'll give you an extra 5% on your money.
So you're
and you're
rewarding.
like, wow, that's pretty good. Well, that's how interest works, right? And unfortunately, the banks now don't pay a lot of interest, so this is kind of a way to get them, understanding the importance of saving and earning. And then the next step would be, which I really think you should do now because teens are loving this, is learning about investing. When they hit 12, 13, this is when they get excited because investing is essentially shopping in some ways, but being very smart about what you're investing or what you're shopping for. So this is a time to get them participating because they're going to remember this as they get older and they leave the little nest.
It's interesting. So when you say their own money, you're saying allowance money, that this should be their own money. It shouldn't be that we're just giving them money.
Exactly. I don't think we should give them money so quickly because then what does that teach them? That as long as they have a certain last name and they do sort of what they're supposed to do and they get money. But essentially, do you get money just for being you? Well, maybe you do.
I wish I did. I wish I just had a money tree and I could grab it, but no, it doesn't work that way.
Right. Even as an influencer, you still have to work for your money, right? So our children, we got to teach them the same thing. You need to work and you have to do certain things outside of what, your normal existence. What more are you doing and what compensation are you getting for that? For that work, right? So like my 8-year-old's a good example of this. He actually comes to work now and he shreds and he does a little bit of filing, not too much, and he gets a little bit of money.
And what do you give him, minimum wage?
No, of course not. Right now we're still working in children currency, which is in tickets. So it's not in cash yet, so it's a little bit more fun. But yeah, I give out tickets for pretty much everything. Anything that they don't, outside of homework is their job, and that's their job. But
Okay.
anything exceeding that, then they get tickets. So with kids, the teenagers, then currency is definitely doable. You can even put money aside into, let's say, a debit account, but they need to learn. And the other thing that I love at this age too with teens is that there's a lot of things they can do. They can do babysitting, right? They can tutor a younger sibling or whatever. They can there's a lot of things they can do. They can even wrap gifts for you.
Sure.
So what you could do is, I love matching dollar for dollar what they earn. So if you want to sit at home and play video games all day and watch TV, then you earn nothing. But if you're going to be smart and start a lemonade stand, whatever you do, you help the neighbor with his garden, you make $3, I'll match you $3.
Lovely.
And it teaches them the importance of saving and being an entrepreneur, and it gets them really excited because they look at mom and they're thinking, mom is pretty awesome, I want to be mom, but they don't know what it takes to get to you
Right.
being at this stage. So if you teach them early on, then those are the lessons they're going to carry on going forward, because they're always listening to us. But if you give them money, you've lost your opportunity to teach them something.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then they're just entitled and they've got it, and
Yeah, we don't
that's
want
it.
that.
And we don't have a money tree, so that's not going to work.
That's right.
All right, well, thank you, Winnie. Love that. And your article is live on LA Mom Magazine, so you can check out Winnie Sun, our fabulous financial advisor. Her article is live on LA Mom Magazine. And we had so much fun talking with Winnie today on Moms Matter at Focus TV Network in West Hollywood. Can't wait to see you all next time.